One of the things that's happened in our family, in our families, is that we don't sit at the table and talk anymore. We don't sit at the table and eat. We eat on the road, we eat standing up, we eat in the den watching television, or we graze as we're watching our phone, hoping we don't miss out on something important, or at least the last cat video. We want to be sure that we see that. We don't want to miss it. And what happens is the children never hear the stories. They never hear the stories of how their mom and dad fell in love, or how their mom and dad made it before they became who they are. Your parents weren't born your mom and dad. Yeah. My dad won a trip one time, being very successful in the television business, won a trip, and they had a big dinner, and a band started playing. And people went out on the floor and started dancing. And before I knew it, my dad had asked my mom to dance. Lord help us, we were Baptist. And now, not only did my mom and dad dance, they cleared the floor. Everybody stepped back and watched my mom and dad dance. And I remember looking at them, and I was 13, 14 at the time, and it hit me. I think my mom and dad like each other. I'd never thought about them as husband and wife. They were always mom and dad. But they loved each other a long time before I got here, and loved each other a long time after I left. Do you know that story? Who you are, of how God has been working across time, across history, in this great salvation story with people like Samuel, people like David, people like John the Baptist, people like Peter and Paul and Lydia and all the rest, and you're part of that great story. You are in that family. Do you know who you are? Do you know whose you are? Have you ever walked into a party, a gathering of some kind, and people really not know who you are, and so you point to your child, I belong to him. You point to your spouse, I belong to her. You point to your parents, I belong to them. I'm theirs. Of all the sacred things Jesus left us, he left us two: the cross and the table. It's important to Jesus that we gather at the table so you can hear the stories, so you can be reminded who you are, so you can remember whose you are.